Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of Homer. We're reading Odyssey, Book 7, and we're almost at the end of this. So I finished up at line 228, and there's been a discussion or a conversation here between Odysseus and Alkinous, who reiterates his offer to send him on his way, perhaps in a day or so. So we begin here at line 229. Hos phato ge thesen de polutlas dios Odysseus, kominos dar penepos tefat ek tonomazdi. And thus he spoke, and glorious, much enduring, and polu plus that tala root, tala I endure, much enduring Odysseus, Gethe sen aorist without augment, rejoiced. And praying from euchomai, participle here, we get a slight variation on this fairly stock phrase here. So he spoke a word and named him. He spoke a word and said and named him. This is a stock phrase, normally not used in relation to the gods, but it is here. So praying accordingly, he said, and he spoke a word. So the ephat goes with the epos, and he spoke a word and he named him. And the name, of course, is O Father Zeus, Zeu Pater. Aeth hossa epi telutese and hapanta Alkinous. Two men ken epi dorin aruran, asbeston kleos ie ego de patrid hikoimen. O Father Zeus, so would that as many things, would that Alkinous, and we get an optative here, would that he might fill all things, hossa, as many as ape he just said. That he said in the earlier bit, he said that he's going to take him back to his homeland. And we get this wish here, may he be, optative from the verb to be, may there be, aspeton, unquenchable kleos, glory. So, or may his glory be unquenchable is probably better. Kleos is neuter here, hence the on ending on the adjective. So may his glory be unquenchable, epi, upon the tse doron. The tse is from some root meaning grain, and so giver of grain, hence fruitful. And the arura is the ploughed field. It's connected with the verb aroo, to plough. So may his reputation or his glory, the of him here, be unquenchable upon the fruitful fields, and may I come to my fatherland. We get another optative with ke, of a wish here. Hos hoimen toiauta proselelus agoruon, keklete de arete, lukolinos amphipolois in demnia hup aethuse themenai kai regia kala, porphyria ec baleain, storesai tefuperthe tapetas kleinas ten themenai, ulas katupethen hesasthai. Slightly difficult passage, this next bit here. So thus they, we get a men, it's going to be balanced by a det here. So thus they were discussing, it's imperfect without augment, such things to one another. But Arete, this is his wife, kekleto, called to. This is one of these reduplicated aorist forms. It's an odd form. It's connected with Callio, of course, but it's one of these odd Homeric forms. So Arete called, Arete, who is white-armed, from Leucos and Olinos, who has a white-armed Arete, called to the servant women, the attendant women. Now we get an infinitive, we get a number of infinitives here. Themenai, this is from Tithane, literally to place. Demnia, well, these are bedclothes, probably here just beds, or I put a bed perhaps, but it's demnia, is normally used of bed linen. To place this hoop ithuse under the portico. This is some standard word for it's the portico, the often open to the sun, which is probably what the etymology of this came from, this itho of scorching or burning. So under the portico, kai regia cala, and now regia is connected with rag numi. We get our word rag from this, but it's something like blankets. So, and embelen, to cast on top of it purple, beautiful purple blankets. Storesi is from stornumi, which generally means to spread. To spread hoop earthe on top of that. Tapetas, these are rugs, from tapes is the singular, and to place in, or to n plus tithani, to place perhaps in addition. Now the ulas, I think, goes with the klinas, so these are woolen. Klinas is sort of cloaks. Cap, to place on top of that, or perhaps, sorry, place underneath this, down from underneath. Hesasthai is probably, I think, an epexegetic infinitive here. It is an infinitive. It's from henumi, to wrap, or to put, to clothe. And so it may be simply epexegetic here for wrapping, so as a wrapping. So to lay on top rugs, and to place fleecy robes or cloaks underneath as a wrapping, is something of the sense of this fairly difficult little passage here. Hai disan ek megaroio daos metakersin ekusai. And they, having in their hands daos, a lamp or a torch, they went out from the halls. This is from Amy Ibo. So they went out from the hall singular. Auta epe storisen pukinon lekos in koniusai, otrunon Odysseia peristaminoi epeesin. But when they had spread the strong lekos bed, en koniusai, from this is a verb meaning hastening. It's a participle here, en koniota. So hastening, so when hastening they had spread out this strong bed. Or tunon, this is imperfect, they began to encourage Odysseus, standing beside him, participle here, they standing beside him, they began to encourage Odysseus, epees in dative plural with words. Also keon oxene, pepoete de toi une. Now also is an imperative it simply means to get up. And the keon, well, this is probably connected with kami. It's an odd word here. It's a shorter form connected with kami. It'd be a participle here, I think. So it's something like stir yourself, being about to lie down or lying down. So stir yourself to go to bed, we'd say, O stranger. And the bed has been made toy for you. Hos fan, to daspaston eesetot koi methenai. And thus they spoke. This is another form of Farsi here. Thus they spoke. So this is the plural. So thus they spoke, and eesetot from Adamai, it seemed good, or it seemed to him, to aspaston. It's connected with aspasdomai, to greet or welcome, so it's an adjective here. It seemed to him a welcome thing, koi methenai, to get some sleep. Hos homin enthekathiudi polutlas dios Odysseus, tre tois en lekeesi hup I thuse eridupo. Alkinous dara lecto muko domu hup saloio, pa degune despoina lekos porsuni kayunen. And thus did glorious, much enduring Odysseus sleep there, under the resounding, this is that dupos root of thud, and eri simply means strong, so it's often translated resounding, so it's sort of echoing almost. Ithusa, this is this corridor, this portico that we've had mentioned before. On Tretois is very difficult to translate generally. It's got to do with boring of holes to make the bed, to construct the bed with, to put cords in it. So it's sometimes translated as corded, which is probably the easiest translation here. So thus he slept under the resounding corridor, on the corded bed, plural for singular. But Alkinous, accordingly, lecto, this is one of these primitive aorist forms from that root of lying down. You get a number of these in Homer. You get dektot, for example, formed from decamai. This is this lek root of lying. So Alkinous, accordingly, lay down in the recesses, in the innermost part, the mukos, of his high house, and his lady wife beside him. Porsune, she prepared the lekos and the une. Well, but these both mean bed. You could want to get both words in. You could say she began to prepare the bed and the bedding, if you wanted to translate both. But lekos and une, they're both, they're just similes. They're just simply words with the same meaning, really, as each other. Sorry, synonyms was the word I wanted. So she prepared the bed and the bedding. And so at this point, they all go to sleep, and that's a good point to finish Book 7.